And thank you, of course, to everyone here who decided to come out and support us on this Sunday. We have a great sunset outside. Make sure you don't miss that. I mean, it's really gorgeous. That was kind of the whole idea of this event, was to kind of get people together, like-minded people that can make a difference with our water crisis. It's been a rough year out on the island and everywhere else around here. It's been kind of rough for everybody. So make sure you support your local business. Most of all our silent auction items were local. It was really great to see the support from the local businesses. Again, get out and shop there. It's been tough. It's been tough for us. It's been tough for everybody. So Amazon's great, and that stuff shows up in 2 days. But stop in and talk to someone local here. It's really great. But we had a great auction. So make sure you take a look at that, and thank everyone that contributed to that. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our captains. That's what y'all are here for. Again, thank you to everybody for coming.
Today, as we speak, Florida is facing an ecological disaster.
Decades of water mismanagement are having devastating effects.
With each passing day, the treasure we call the Everglades slowly dies.
And the Florida that we all know and love slips further and further away.
But there is hope.
There is hope.
Man created these problems, and we can fix them.
We must look at what nature is showing us
and listen to what science is telling us.
Restore the flow of clean, fresh water through the river of grass to the Everglades and Florida Bay.
As users of Florida's most valuable resource,
it is our responsibility to fight and protect what we love
and ensure the future of America's Everglades and our way of life.
We are fishermen.
We are guides.
We are outdoorsmen.
We are captains.
We are captains for clean water.
My name's Chris Whitman. This is my buddy Daniel Andrews. Thank you very much for having us out here this evening. We're honored to be here. Thank you for all the hard work it took to put this event on, and to all the sponsors and people who took part in making it happen. We're really grateful. This type of thing is literally what supports our day-to-day operations. We have a small, very streamlined organization with 4 employees, and communities come together and people come together to put things on like this to help support our organization. Leaves our resources to doing things that matter, to actually clean up the water instead of putting events on like this ourselves. So it's very, very valuable to us, and we really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Real brief history. I'm born and raised here, as is Daniel. 4th generation Floridian, and I grew up on Sanibel Island, and have been fortunate enough to be a hunting and fishing guide here in Florida for the past 20 years. That video you just saw was our very first kind of public effort to get our industry and our community engaged in the fight to save what we love about Florida. We put that video together in 2 days, 3 years ago now, at ICAST, which is a fishing trade show. And some of the most recognizable faces and respected people in our industry are part of that, and it literally it happened. And I think ever since that day, it's been a massive snowball of support from our community and our industry. And 3 years later, standing here this evening, we have gotten the engagement of far more people than we ever imagined. Leaders in our industry, people like Hells Bay, companies like Hells Bay and Mustad and SeaDek and Yeti Coolers and Costa, big leaders in this industry that for the first time ever are finally engaged in this fight. And the reason those companies are engaged in this fight is because they saw their communities and their users, their customers, finally raise up and want them involved and need them to get involved. So we have seen a massive shift in the last 3 years in the fight for Everglades restoration, which will fix these problems that we're all unfortunately far too familiar with. So what I'd like to do is give the mic to Daniel, let him kind of fill you in on an update of what's happened in the last year or so, briefly, and what we can expect in the coming months. So thank you very much.
Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. When I walked in this door, I was met with people that were saying, did you hear about the lease getting extended with the South Florida Water Management District at the site for this reservoir that we all fought so hard for? The next person come up, did you hear that one of the governing board members for this corrupt agency, the Water Management District, has resigned, and their general counsel also resigned on Friday afternoon? And I'm hearing all this really great information from people, and that's what's changed in the last 2.5 years since Captains for Clean Water has been around, 3 years now. When we used to walk into a room, the only people that would recognize that there was a problem were people like Tommy Locke that are on the water every day, and he's realized this is a problem since I was wearing diapers. So the fact that so many people are engaged now, the fact that so many people are paying attention to this issue gives us more hope than we've ever had that we can make progress. We have the momentum. This year out on the water, everybody understands this is really bad. And as they start to dig into this and see all this craziness going on at the Water Management District, where they're trying to remove the consent decree that dictates how clean or dirty the water can be that goes down to the Everglades. They're trying to renew these leases for 8 more years on a project that we need built now. People know this now, and because of that, they're resigning. Those people that are doing all those corrupt deeds, they're walking out. And we have a huge opportunity right now. We have a new governor coming in, we have a new legislature, a new Congress, and it's up to all of us, not just Chris and I and our staff at Captains. It's up to every single one of you to do everything you can to make sure that your voice is heard. Call the governor every day, call your legislators every day, your congressmen, your senators. Let them know you're not having this anymore. You support Captains for Clean Water and all the other organizations that are involved with this issue. You stand with them, and enough is enough. We've been saying enough is enough as guides because we saw this years ago happening a little bit smaller, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And our area can't take this anymore. So with everybody's support, and the biggest thing you can do to support us is to use your voice. When you hear stuff like this about what's happening at the Water Management District, go on Facebook, share that with all your friends. And when you run into your friends and your neighbors, talk to them about it. Let them know that's happening. We have to keep this at the front of conversation. When the water cleans up this spring, don't make the conversation be how bad it was before. Make the conversation be, this is what we need to do to fix the problem. This is what we need to do so this doesn't happen again for our kids and for our grandkids. So please stay up to date with Captains for Clean Water. Sign up for our newsletters and go on our website. We're going to have a lot of opportunities coming up. All these governing board members, as they resign, we're going to make sure that we're putting the best choices we can forward to the new administration so that we get appointments of people that actually care about our water instead of their friends that make a ton of money doing other business. So let's keep that front and center, and please, everywhere you go, everything you do, just make sure you don't forget about this, because we can't afford to have this happen again, and we're not going to let it happen again. So thank you all for coming out here tonight. Thank you to all the sponsors, for everybody that made this night successful. It was awesome. We'll be around if you have any questions.